Every step forward is imperative to success. So I've been doing a lot of exercise lately for reasons I'll talk about in a later video this week. But I've been doing a lot of going out and walking. Starting really slow. I haven't done any real physical activity in a long time. Very sedentary in my life. But I want to change that. So the last, I think maybe 10 or so days, I've gone out and done some exercise, a little bit of calisthenics, cardio stuff here at home, and then I'll go out for a 2-mile walk every day before I do anything else in my day. And it feels really good. I've really enjoyed it. It's made me feel a lot better about myself. I felt a lot more prepared and refreshed and ready to attack the day when I start my morning off with something physically active. So that's great. Being alone with my thoughts though for half an hour to 45 minutes, I tend to get really introspective. I haven't really found it helpful to listen to music or listen to a podcast or anything like that. I just go in silence and I listen to kind of the sounds around me as I walk around town getting my 2 miles in. And when I do that, I tend to think a lot. That's kind of like my cardinal sin, is I think a lot. And sometimes it does good things and sometimes it does bad things. But on my 5th walk, which was a couple days ago now, I was thinking about stuff and I came across this simple yet pretty profound revelation that I figured, despite it being rather common sense, I'd share with you guys because it still kind of had an effect on me. So I have a specific route set up now after a couple days of figuring out how I wanted my walks to go that I do every day, and it ends up to be about 2 miles and change. And right near the end of the walk is because where my house is on a hill, I have to go down the hill and then near the end I have to go back up. And that's the hardest part of the walk. It's always, especially for a dude out of shape like me, it takes a lot out of me to get back up that hill. And on this 5th time, I'm like huffing and puffing trying to get my way up. And I'm just thinking, this is stupid. It's 8 in the morning. I'm usually sleeping until at least 9. I could be in bed right now relaxing, but instead I'm sweating, I'm disgusting, I'm out of breath going up this hill. And it's not gonna change anything. I get home, I'm not gonna feel like I'm not gonna magically get more in shape just from this one walk. Why am I doing this? I should be in bed. I should be relaxing, having a good time, not being miserable. This is dumb. I'm an idiot. And just like that, my own mind's response was just like, this is part of a sequence, And what I mean by a sequence is that this walk, this 2-mile kind of amount of steps that you're going to be taking has its part to play in the greater whole. If you want to get in shape, if you want to lose the weight, if you want to get toned, this is part of the process. You have to do this in order to get there. If I wanted to accomplish my goal, this moment, this walk was imperative to getting there. If I stopped doing it now, I would never get to the end goal. And even more in an immediate sense, every step forward I take, every breath that I'm taking and I'm huffing and puffing, each one of those is imperative to get the walk done, and the walk is imperative to get to the goal. So every step forward I was taking is integral to the final product, to the end goal. None of it's going to happen even if one of those little parts isn't done. It was all important, even if I couldn't appreciate it at the scale that I was observing it from now. Looking back, I'll be able to realize that every step mattered, but as I'm taking them, they feel like they have no consequence. So I take the next step, and I take the next one, and I take the next one, and maybe like 8 or 10 steps after that, I kind of stop, and it hits me, this revelation, so to speak, something so obvious and yet simultaneously so profound, at least in the moment, is that this concept of each little step being imperative doesn't just apply to my physical activity, it doesn't just apply to my walk, it applies to anything that we're attempting to do. All the issues I've been dealing with trying to get motivated to do source loss and to learn HTML and to get better at my drawing and get better at graphic design and learn all these things that feel so overwhelming, so massive. All of them are broken down into little bits. When it comes to working on source loss, a finished issue, a finished chapter is getting fit. A finished page is a finished walk. And each pencil stroke is a step forward. And unless that one pencil stroke happens, the finished issue is never going to be completed. I'm never going to get to the end goal unless I slog through the small little bits that feel inconsequential, that feel unimportant, and feel like a waste of time. This proof can apply to any creative process, any process we do as human beings at all. It all requires those small little bits to be added up. And it was just I think it was so much more powerful because I don't go out and do physical things. This was kind of the first time that I was struggling with something that was a tangible physical challenge as opposed to something mental, emotional, more abstract. Having it be tangible and physical made the connection that much more obvious and that much more potent. And I was able to take that, extrapolate it, and apply it to all my other struggles and how this concept is universal. And it was really empowering in the moment. And I just got filled with this new sense of energy. And I was able to get up the hill, no problem. I finished the rest of my walk, and I was bulletproof the entire time. So that's just something I wanted to share with you guys, is that even when we can't appreciate the progress that's being made in the moment. What we're doing, the moment we operate on, the day-to-day, is just too small in scale to really understand its application. We can't realize its application in the moment. It's only when looking back, when we're done, that we're going to appreciate all those small steps we're taking. So even though they seem inconsequential, even though they seem pointless and worthless, and you could just be playing video games or watching TV or browsing YouTube and watching my dumb face, instead you should be working on getting something done. Because even though it seems like you're not going anywhere, you're just going at such a small, slow pace. You just can't observe the progress until you look back on it. So keep working. I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep trying to do my exercise, get physically fit, get in shape. But I'm also gonna be working on source loss and on this channel and on learning HTML and web design and trying to actually get a career and get this channel going even further and accomplishing all the goals I want to do, because they're all just small little steps. And even though those small little steps seem pointless, even when they're done, it just seems like there's a small inconsequential thing, they add up, and they add up kind of in the background, and we can't observe it until after the fact. Take that for what it's worth. Maybe it's obvious, maybe you already knew that, but for me, I knew it, but we all need a reminder every now and then, and that was my reminder, and I found it very helpful. My name is Tom Oliver, and you've been watching Rebel Pixels, a channel all about empowering and impassioning the DIY creator here on the web. If that's you, and you live and die by your art, you need to hit that subscribe button right there and join the rebellion. I make new videos like this 3 times a week, sort of. On Mondays, I do motivational videos like this one, kind of helpful advice I've learned the hard way to keep you creating as best as you can. On Wednesdays, I do more technical videos like tips and tricks, DIY kind of solutions and reviews and stuff like that. And on Fridays, I do live events, whether it's Q&As, you can ask me about your creative questions, or Let's Draws, where I'll just draw some stuff live and people can tell me what to draw. So again, I'm Tom Oliver, this is Rebel Pixels, reminding you guys we might be indie, but it doesn't mean that we're alone. Catch you all next week.